Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. We are back with Sports Adda Live. An important day for Indian cricket today and the Indian cricket team. Salil, before we move on to today, what are your thoughts on the day yesterday? We started off in a commanding position with 3 wickets on the previous day. We get 2 early wickets, then sort of a comeback from the English side, and again we started off. We took a wicket before lunch. In the second session, the England batsman again scored runs. What's your take on the entire days yesterday?
Well, quite frankly, it started off very well for India. I think they capitalized with those two quick wickets at the start. But staring down at 62 for 5, I think the English batsmen made a real good comeback, as you mentioned. And Ollie Pope and the other boys kind of consolidated a lot of runs for England and got them out of that rut. Otherwise, India were in a very commanding position. The Indian bowlers did not look like they really had the sting because all the wickets that they got of Moeen Ali or Ollie Pope, they were all kind of soft dismissals or maybe a run out or two towards the end. So quite honestly, England gave this chance to India to come back into the game, and that's where they are today.
Absolutely. Actually, Salil, if you spoke about, just continuing from what point you mentioned, tail-enders and Indian bowlers have never been a happy story for us. Tail-enders have always scored against our bowlers and our premier fast bowlers. So, what do you think was missing there? Why do you think that the tail-enders were able to, especially the last pair, they scored about 30, 40 odd runs against this bowling lineup? So, what do you think was the problem with the Indian bowlers here?
Well, I think the pitch wasn't helping them to begin with, and the ball wasn't moving for bowlers like Siraj, or maybe Bumrah was not getting enough purchase from the pitch. Also, they were cramping, they bowled a lot, and quite a brilliant place to bat. So you can't you all the more make it difficult for the bowlers. So they're toiling hard. I think Jadeja was bought only after the 50th or 60th over to get rid of those overs of the last old ball so that they could get the new ball, and that's when the fast bowlers got a little rest. But apart from that, it's been all England because it's been easy to bat. At the same time, I think with Joe Root out, allowing England to score 290 runs, maybe around 250 would have been the right score. But allowing them to play and talking about their tail, Chris Wokes, what a player! I think that man scoring 50 out of 57, he just repeated what Shardul Thakur did on day one and bringing England to a decent lead of 99 runs. So I think, quite frankly, he was the player for both the days with the kind of effort that he's put with both bat and ball. And I think coming back, India would be happy where they are currently placed.
Yeah, absolutely. I was getting there to that next question. After whatever happened in the first 2.5 sessions, the last 1.5 hour was something which we Indians would be happy about. Both our openers playing well, playing positive cricket, playing their shot, scoring runs in 16 overs, getting up about 40 odd runs. Salil, what's your take on the Indian batting? How comfortable you felt that the batsmen were, and also your thoughts on the pitch, what it felt today, and what it would be like today in the day.
Well, I think today the batting conditions would be even better than what they were yesterday. And the way the Indian batsmen were playing, the intent was quite right. They were playing on the up, they were playing quite compact. There was only one opportunity of Rohit Sharma that flew by that Rory Burns didn't pick. But apart from that one hiccup, I think the Indian batsmen were pretty solid. Rahul was playing freely on the square side, so a lot of runs to come today on this pitch that really looks good. India has all 10 wickets in hand, and quite frankly, there couldn't be a better opportunity for the Indian team to go and post a big total. At least 250 to 270 more runs are required on the board today if we take every session. So we'll have to wait and watch what magic do the Indian batsmen do, because they've already seen of the new ball as well, and a few 60-65 overs to bat, and a good amount of runs can be made. Like I mentioned yesterday on the show with Paras, I think this team on this pitch is quite capable of scoring around 4 runs and over if they need to. So and that too quite comfortably. So let's wait and watch about that.
4 runs and over comfortably. I'm sure the England bowlers wouldn't be happy listening to this, because if you just turn your head around against Rohit Sharma, against KL Rahul, and in the Indian batting lineup, you have four great fast bowlers, four informed fast bowlers. If I just consider Wokes taking on the confidence from his batting, we have James Anderson, we have Ollie Robinson, we have Chris Wokes, and we have another fast bowler. So four fast bowlers who have done quite well against India. What do you think their strategy will be? Considering you also said that it looks a batting friendly pitch. So how do you think they would be thinking about, and what their plans would be to go about for the day?
Well, excellent question, and I was actually thinking about that this morning. I think the English bowlers sitting in the dugout yesterday, in the dressing room yesterday, would have looked at the fact that it's virtually impossible to get a wicket out because the pitch is not going to give you that much of assist, while the ball will not be swinging around so much. And the only way you can get the Indian batsman out is with consistency of bowling in and around that off stump line and waiting for the Indian batsman to make a mistake, because that's exactly what their batsman did. And most likely the Indian batsmen are going to get out on on their own merits, and maybe a ball or two which might be a Jaffa, but apart from that, I think the Indian batsmen have their wickets to lose. It would be their on their own goal.
So just to add on that point, don't you think the Indians batsmen should be a lot more cautious today? Because us, we were in a similar sort of situation in the previous Test match. If I just talk about where Kohli and Pujara were playing quite well, we were confident that they would bat well and they would sort of take the game deep. But what unfolded the next day was that we just tumbled and we just wrapped up in a minute. I mean, it felt like within a session the whole match was over. We lost wickets in a hurry. So do you think that will be in the minds of the Indian batsmen, especially we are in a similar sort of situation. New Day have not lost wickets, but the English bowlers are always a threat. So, do you think that would be keep on playing in their minds?
Well, I think they'd have that in mind, but they won't. The pitch plays a really big factor here, and they've seen the conditions. They've seen what their openers could do. They scored around 43 runs in around 12 or 13 overs at a good pace. So I don't think that should be playing on their mind purely, because if they come here to win a series, you would have to go absolutely attacking to the opposition. You have to take the attack to the opposition. And this is the best opportunity that the Indian team has got. If they play this day to day and score approximately 300 odd runs, maybe 270 to 300 runs, with the kind of free flowing batting that's happening, I think they'll be in a very commanding position if they post a total of more than 200 for England to score on your fourth and fifth day. So, all in all, I don't think the conservative effort by the Indian batsmen is really required. It's not that we've lost 3 wickets. They have all 10 wickets in hand. They can go about pacing their day as much as they want and as much as they would like. And I think, quite frankly, this is the opportunity that the Indian batsmen, which have generally struggled over this period of the series, have to consolidate on what they've done wrong, because this is a make or break day for this Test series as well. It could go both ways.
It is a make or break day. And if I talk about the Indian batsmen, all of them have just shown glimpses. We had one star, KL Rahul scoring a 50-100 at the start. We have Kohli getting two back-to-back half centuries now. Rahane with 150, Pujara with 190. But if I talk about the entire batting attack, there's been one guy who's been consistently scoring runs and buying time, and that's Rohit Sharma. How much do you think that Rohit Sharma's innings will be important for India, and what role do you think he should play? Because till now we've seen him play quite conservatively, not really playing his shots that much. So how do you think Rohit Sharma should tackle this situation?
Well, I think he's seen the way the pitch is playing, and he knows that he can spend a lot of time in the middle. Mark my words, I think that if Rohit Sharma is able to get a century today, it's going to be a really big one, and that will throw England out of the game. He's the only player who can turn the match away from you. After a score of 100, he will accelerate, and he plays at that pace. It's just very natural about him. It's not that he has a game plan or something. He just becomes very, very free and starts hitting these ballers like he's playing in the nets. So, quite frankly, I think Rohit Sharma batting today and getting that century that he really, really deserves in this series. If there is any batsman who deserves to get a ton here, it's Rohit Sharma. I think this will be his day if he's able to do that, and will definitely put India in a much, much more commanding position as compared to any other batsman scoring a century.
We absolutely hope that happens. We are hoping for a big one from all the Indian batsmen. Salil, as we come towards the end of the session, your last thoughts. What do you think? What will be the score at the end of this session? Who are the players you are really vouching to have a really good day out at the field today?
Well, I think both are openers to begin with, and some hope for Pujara as well, kind of because the way the pitch is playing. So I would assume India would score anywhere between 70 to 80, 85 runs, and maybe if we lose a wicket, it might be just one wicket.
That's fine. That's really good, Salil. Thank you so much. We would be back with after the post session to just to see how the game is played. Hope we have a lot of positives to talk about. Thank you, Salil. Thank you, everybody. This was Sports Adda Live.
Thanks, Rishabh.